100 for 4 wickets, 31 to Downton. Good shot. Long chase for Larry Gomes, but there's no need for him to run. It's 4. Nicely timed by Botham. Delicate little back cut. And England need a few more of those delicate little back cuts and a bit of blasting batting on Monday and Tuesday if they're to get out of this match. Botham a very good 30 not out, and Downton batted right through for 34 not out. A splendid effort from him, but England still at the end were 112 for 4 with 8 more runs added before the close of play. Andy Lloyd won't be able to bat in this match. The West Indies bowlers dominated there by Joel Garner. 12 overs, 5 maidens, 3 for 22. Now I know the modern day players have difficulty in handling him. I don't know too many olden day cricketers who could have done any better. He bowled magnificently today, and at the end England 303 runs behind, still with 2 days to go. Welcome to the highlights of the last day of the opening Cornhill Test match of this series, or at least I think it'll be the last day. And it's not often I'm serenaded when having the chance to provide the highlights of a day's Test cricket. We have here a reggae band, part of the small crowd in to see the England batsmen start this 4th day. Ian Botham and Paul Downton were the 2 men taking the strike this morning against the West Indian bowlers. Botham was 30 and Downton 34. Both played very well on Saturday to take the England second innings along to 112 for 4, but still England were in desperate straits. They were 303 runs behind, and in all honesty there was very little chance of them getting out of it. We pick up play now with the 3rd ball of the 3rd over. 2 runs have been added to the overnight score, and it's Malcolm Marshall. He's bowling to Ian Botham.
Beautiful shot. Right through the covers, foot to the pitch of the ball, full swing of the bat. Glorious cover drive from Botham.
Magnificent stroke. Not really half volley. He got his head right behind it.
And that's the danger ball and the danger shot.
And Malcolm Marshall getting in very close there, but that delivery very wide really to play at. Shorter and quicker. He's a very, very talented bowler, this man.
Both batsmen level now on 34. And that's angled away through the gully area. Harper giving chase, and not many quicker movers than him in first-class cricket anywhere in the world, I wouldn't think. It's his first tour, of course, with the West Indies, but he's no stranger to this country. He was professional last season for Blackhall Colliery Welfare up in North Yorkshire and South Durham League. He had a fair old season too, almost 1,000 runs, took 80 wickets and 32 catches. Well, that's a chance. The big Joe Garner, the man who let Botham off there, went very quickly, but very catchable height. That's going to be 4, steered wide of slips. No 3rd man down there, and the first boundary of the morning for Paul Downton. Garner again to Botham. And his LBW, up goes the finger, caught Ian Botham on the back foot there. I don't think he was entirely happy about it. Had a second look at the umpire, but there's nothing you can do once that finger goes up, and Botham goes LBW for 38. It's another wicket to Garner, and it's 127 for 5. Field again, closing in for the new batsman Miller. That was a nasty crack on the hand. Didn't know much about it. Just as well there wasn't one up behind there.
And Joel Garner getting a lot of bounce here. Really banged that one in. Look at that follow through. And hitting Jeff Miller on the glove.
Don't see Jeff Miller attempt that shot very often. I think he was quite thankful it caught pretty well in the middle of the bat, and is just about to bring in 4 runs.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to have a look at this. I don't think he was looking at the ball when he hit it.
Really couldn't strongly advise a repeat of that shot, I don't think. And I think he's gone. Yes, Askin. Miller dropped the bat. I think it hit him round about the glove somewhere. Trying to really take evasive action there. And Jeff Miller getting in quite a tangle. He goes for 11. It's a wicket for Marshall, and it's 138 for 6. Well, 3 in on the leg side for Derek Pringle. Clive Lloyd must have worked something out here with Marshall. 2 forward short legs, a square leg a little deeper. And a bouncer straight away. And again, quite beautifully taken by Jeff Dujon behind.
He's been very, very impressive in this match. West Indian keeper. Look at the way he moves there. Beautifully taken.
And 4 runs for Pringle. Applause for the 150. Pringle goes on to 6, Downton 45, 150 for 6. Difficult to close all the gaps out there when you have that concentration of men close in on the leg side. Now Clive Lloyd has got 2 slips and 2 gullies. That's a nice firm stroke played with authority by Derek Pringle.
Yes, he plays the ball well off his legs. Really clips that away. Perfect balance. Beautifully timed.
And placed perfectly. There's no man at mid-on. Larry Gomes is the man close in at silly leg. And 3 to Pringle. Clive Lloyd will be very pleased with the way things have gone this morning. The man who is moving up that list of most test match appearances. Don't know if he'll catch Colin Cowdrey, but has only 13 to go at the moment. Nice shot, nice square drive. That's one of Downton's favourite strokes. He's played it well in this innings. And will pick up an easy 3. Slogie the fielder. Short of 3rd slip. Viv Richards is the man chasing. 4 runs. So Pringle's had a couple of edgy strokes, but he's also played a couple of very solid ones out there. One off his hip. Another one nicely pushed away down the ground. He's gone on now to 18. 48 to Downton. Marshall's finished his bowling stint at the members' end now. Eldine Baptiste comes on for the first time in this innings. Nice shot. Didn't time it quite as he would have wished, but he still picked up 2 runs, and that's a half century for Paul Downton, his first in Test cricket. It's a great moment for him, and even apart from having reached that landmark, the big plus mark for England is that he's played so straight and so well, and with such a great deal of courage. Double change. Marshall went off and Baptiste came on, and now Roger Harper, the off spinner, is coming on with a mass of fielders around Derek Pringle.
Oh, Pringle turning it nicely off his legs. He doesn't appear to give it very much air, Mr. Harper, but then I suppose if you're about 6'3", it is difficult. It's coming from fair height already. To toss it up higher would be very difficult. He's asking for it, he's gone, and it's the end of a long innings from Downton. Harper's done the trick for West Indies. Caught bat and pad there. Barry Mary, no doubt at all. The finger went up very rapidly, and Paul Downton finally goes for 56. A distinguished innings this, and one that he will always remember. 181 for 7. And he's been out there for some 4.5 hours, done a tremendous job, and England can be very, very proud of Paul Downton.
Yes, now we've got the play back again. Yes, just a little nick onto the pad and just carried. This is a thing that can always happen when you've been facing a lot of pace bowlers for a long time, and then you get a change, a slow bowler comes on, and if you don't play really concentrate and push forward properly, it's a mistake you can easily make.
There's no third man. Harper sets off in chase again. It's only a little push. He'll pull it up quite comfortably as Cook gets off the mark with 2. That's a no ball, which will bring Nick Cook 4 runs. Move the third slip round to gully, and so he very skillfully guided it past there. "15 minutes before lunch, 2 wickets to go down for England, and Big Joel Garner comes back into the attack. See if he can add to his 4 for 39. And he's run him out. Well, that was a very foolish mistake there by Nick Cook. Ball going to Gomes, lovely piece of fielding. There's only 1 wicket to hit, and my word, he got it straight on. But Nick Cook had backed up far, far too far. So 193 for 8. Cook goes for 9. Result of a smart piece of work by Larry Gomes. So complete with white helmet, and remember to bring his bat this time. And here's big Bob Willis. His last time he'll walk out on the middle at Edgbaston in a test match.
And you can see this again. In fact, Derek Pringle does commit Cook a bit here, because he just set off there. Look, you can see him set off, and he does 2 or 3 strides and gets Cook in full flight, who has to then turn round and come back. And I think that probably might have been Pringle's fault. He may well have caught Cook for a run there.
With still just a few runs behind. 220 in fact. Oh, we've got a deep square leg and a deep mid-wicket now for Bob Willis. I can't believe that he's going to try and push forward too often. That's hoisted hard to Garner, and that's over the top. It looked as though he was moving in to catch it. He must have lost it completely in the background, and it dropped away quite harmlessly, some 6 or 7 yards away from him.
I think if England had wanted to win, the bowler wouldn't have been very pleased there, or the captain.
That's 199. 1 more will give us 200. And, quite a remarkable shot there from Bob Willis. He plays his shot inside out. You can get almost any bowler over cover point's head, no matter whether it's spinning in, swinging in, or what it's doing. So that's 200 on the board, 203, and 9 now to Bob Willis. Sliced away again. No need to run for that. That's another 4. So big Bob Willis enjoying himself out there. He's taken 18 from that Harper over. And at least the locals here have got something to cheer about. So Harper to Pringle. That's a good shot. Good firm off drive for Pringle, will bring him 4.
Off the edge, but it doesn't matter very much. Pringle will be quite happy to pick up the 4 runs for that. $45 to Pringle now, 22 to Willis, 234 for 8.
Just 2 more deliveries for Bob Willis to negotiate from Big Joe.
And that's it. It's the finish, and Willis doesn't look all that pleased about it. He didn't think he got anywhere near that. There was a fairly solid appeal from the West Indians, and England's innings is over at 235. Willis out for 22, just 6 short of his best ever in Test matches, and Pringle 46 not out. A very good effort from Derek Pringle to go with the 5 wickets he took when West Indies batted. So England 191 and 235. West Indies 606. West Indies won by an innings and 180 runs. I think that's about as well as anyone expected England to do at the start of this 4th day's play. 235 all out. Downton was out for 56. Another very good innings from him. A lot of courage, and he played very straight. Both them out for 38 to go with his 64 in the first innings. Willis for 22 in his last innings in a Test match on this EDGBASTON ground. And Pringle, a very good knock that, 46 not out, and a good all-round performance from him in the Test match. 235 all-out England, and Joel Garner, the most successful bowler, and a fine performance. 24 overs, 7 maidens, 5 for 55. 2 wickets to Marshall, 1 to Harper, and Harper picked up the vital one of Downton today, as indeed he did in the first innings when he got Botham's wicket just at the crucial time. So he is looking to be a most valuable member of the West Indian attack, coming in as the off-spinner to balance the pace bowlers. Well, at the end of the match, the man of the match presentation was made by the former England fast bowler F.S. Truman. He named Larry Gomes, the West Indian left-hander, a well-deserved award, I thought, because it was a fine innings from the left-hander, even though he was in the shadow of Vivian Richards. After the game, Peter West spoke with the 2 captains, but first of all, he talked with Gomes.
What are the problems about batting with a man like Viv Richards at the other end? Because nobody on earth could hope to upstage him.
Well, I don't think you have problems. I think having Viv at the other end gives you that more sort of encouragement. Your game improves a lot. It gives you that more confidence to having him at the other end.
But you obviously saw yourself in the role of anchorman, which is exactly what your side, it seems to me, need at number 3.
Well, yes, but I'm not a sort of a strong lad, as the other guys. I depend on timing and placement, so I play within my limitations. And
what did the skipper say to you before you went out to bed?
Well, it's just normal thing, really. To just bat as long as possible, and get a good score.
So I imagine you're looking forward to the rest of the series.
Yes, well, I mean, you know, I haven't started the first one so well, and you know, hopefully things will go right throughout the series.
Thanks very much.
Thank
See
you
you
very much.
abroad.
Thank you.
Clive, congratulations. Things can't have gone much better than that for you.
No, we did. Went extremely well. It's obvious that we didn't think it would have finished as quickly as it did, but I thought players played very well. I think we batted extremely well, and I thought we bowled pretty well, really. Well, it was a very good team game, really.
It's always tough for the losing captain, David, to be on the losing end of a result like that.
Well, yes, I suppose we weren't quite anticipating that at the start of the contest. And it is very disappointing. It's never nice to lose a game, which makes it even worse if you lose a game by a handsome margin. And I think it's just exposed us now to the sort of strength Clive's side has. I think a lot of people will be thinking quite hard in the next week or so about what they can do to improve. And I think at least we now know what the problems are.
One of the problems, of course, is GARNER, isn't it?
Well, he bowled very well, didn't he? He's always been a special bowler, by dint of his great height, of course. And I think, hopefully, I mean, this sort of wicket should have dented some of that. I think most people felt they could play him, or should have been able to play him on this wicket, but things go wrong, and if you get the edge and it's caught, well, that's the end of your experiment, isn't it?
Clive, what are your thoughts on Joel? He's put a yard or two on pace, and he really is so formidable.
Well, not only that, I think he's very awkward, really. He's come from a great height. When you think that you've got him covered, sort of thing, he gets one that does something that you didn't expect. And that sometimes comes a little bit more often than you expect. So you might just get the odd 2 or 3, which puts us puts us in a very, very good position. I think it's something like he's like Jeff Thompson. When he was bowling with Lillian, when they had that combination in the early 70s, you'll find that you think you've got him covered, and then because of his action, which is a very slingy action, and he would produce an unplayable ball all of a sudden when you think, although he might have been bowling for an hour and a half. So it's the same thing that I think Joel has. He comes in, he looks sometimes like you think you've got him covered, then he produces that unplayable ball.
This is or has been your 101st Test match, and I think your 65th or 66th as captain. How do you rate your present side with other West Indies teams?
Well, I think this one has more balance than it's better balanced side than those that I've had in the past. The others were we had 4 fast bowlers and no spinners. I think Viv and Larry sort of made up the spinning department. But I think where depth and ability where batting was concerned, I think we had in 1976 and 79 that the batting was a little bit better. I mean, the Greenwich was a little bit younger sort of thing. We had Fredericks in 1976. So I thought it was a better batting side, really. But here I think it's just a little bit better in the sense that even if it turns, we still have somebody that can do it for us, really.
I suppose I don't have to ask you how you rate it, David.
Well, obviously they're not a bad side. And talking of batting strength, it's a little bit disappointing when number 10 comes in with 70 or 80.
Things got out of control a bit by then, didn't they?
Well, it's when people play well, it's not always that easy to control, is it? And you have to give credit to, say, Holding Baptiste, Michael Holding there for their performance on Saturday morning and the way they did bat. They batted with a certain amount of confidence. I think that's always helped when you come in at sort of 450 for 8 as opposed to 100 or 250 for 8.
What about Paul Downton's performance? Do you feel that he showed what could be done by application and a good sound method?
He certainly did. He played very, very well indeed, both innings. And as I've read quite a few times the past couple of days, he's set the example supposedly for the rest of us. Obviously, it needs a lot of that sort of application to bat well against this side we're playing against. And I think you need to temper that with the mixture of someone like Ian, who can also carry the attack back a bit. Because obviously, again, it's the question, if you're going to win a game, you've got to score runs at a pace that allows you time to bowl a side out, and we can think about that problem later.
Now, are you conscious that that your senior batsman should have played with more application, or do you feel that the media criticism has been unreasonably fierce?
Well, media criticism or media comment is always a very touchy subject. And I think you'll always find, whatever happens, that the views in the dressing room and the views as seen from the other side of the ground, watching the same game, normally differ quite substantially. And as far as I'm concerned, we know what our problems are. We know what we have to do to sort them out, and we'll be doing that without any help from outside the dressing room.
What sort of problems then do you hope to sort out before you go to Lord's?
Well, I'd like to work out how we can score 600 and bowl them out for 190 twice.
Not a bad answer. Clive, the last one with you.
Well, I think it, a lot of people tend to, you know, when you lose sort of thing, they give you a lot of stick. Nobody likes to lose, and there's no doubt about that. And I think that David is in a position where, you know, you'll get criticized, there's no doubt about that. But I think he's got players on the way he's got to build for the future. I'm not saying that in the next game they might not do very well. We're hoping that they don't. But the main thing about it is that once good cricket is played, that's the important thing. Once the people that watch it enjoy it, our job is done, really.
David, a lot of people will be rooting for you and wishing you well and hoping things go a lot better in the next one.
Thank you very much.
So England go to Lord's 1 down, and in a slightly dispirited frame of mind, I suspect. But I think the selectors will stick with these players. Andy Lloyd won't be available. I don't think you'll see too much alteration in the side, but the West Indies must be full of confidence now, and that match result of an innings and 180 runs will be thoroughly pleasing for the West Indian skipper Clive Lloyd.